This is not science fiction. This isn't a theory. This isn't something coming. It's actually here right now. And the people that start understanding it earlier is going to be better. It's not a question of I like AI or I don't like AI. It's, will I allow AI as a tool in my company? Will you walk to every house, or are you going to get in your car and drive to every house? Are you going to send a letter in the mail and wait for snail mail, or are you going to send an email? This is no different. This is where we're at today. This is episode 471 of Bella in Your Business. I need to read you something. I got a DM this week from someone who came to my Precise Pet Care training. We talked about brand voice and AI and client communication. And then a few days later, this is what came back to me. Quote, a few days after the Precise Pet Care training and your discussion about using brand voice in AI and client communication, I started experimenting with my own visit reports. At first, I thought, there's no way this is going to feel authentic. Fast forward to me now creating a narrated XYZ catnip discovery reels and writing updates from the perspective of a feline medication compliant department. And honestly, I finally understood what you meant. The AI isn't replacing the care or the observation. It's helping shape consistency, tone, storytelling, and emotional connection in a better way that still genuinely feels like me. The clients are getting better communication, better emotional reassurance, and better operational detail. The feline medication compliant department. I cannot. Would any of you ever thought about the feline medication compliant department? That DM stopped me cold, you guys, because it's exactly what AI is supposed to do. And here we have people who thought that AI was going to be inauthentic. And it's so exciting for me to be doing this series with Precise Pet Care, where we're talking about the age-old things that we do, like client onboarding and sending care notes, right? But using that AI element, because AI is a tool that we get to use now, all right? And so it just takes it to a whole new level. And something that most people think is complicated or scary or too techie, I'm going to talk about it today. And I wanted to start off with that story because that same person thought that AI had no place in our business. And now I'm about to blow your mind today. I'm going to stretch it out a little bit, as I kind of said in my DM teasers today. The only way to get a pizza is to stretch out the dough. And that's what we're going to do to your brain today. We're going to talk about AI agents. Before you go run and hide and turn it off or flip to another podcast, please, I promise you it's going to be worth your time. I'm going to show you that it's none of those crazy things. You don't have to be a coder. You don't have to be techie. You're actually going to be like, it's that easy. I can do that. So stay with me, because welcome back to another episode of Bella in Your Business. I'm Bella Vasta, and let's get into it today. So real quick before we dive in, if this podcast has ever helped you think differently about your business, like the person I just told you about, hit subscribe if you haven't already. And if you already hit subscribe, I would love it if you would leave a review or a comment. Even though I've been doing this for 12 years and we're on our 471st episode, your likes and comments still fuel this. And I do this for you, not for me, for you. Okay? So let's go. So in June 2026, I was on Fox Phoenix locally. It's the third month in a row as a reoccurring guest. I'm kind of like their AI for the busy human specialist. We're live on air, and I show them right there on camera how you could take a screenshot of a recipe, drop it in a ChatGPT, press one button called agent mode, and it goes directly into your Instacart. And it puts every single ingredient in there. So there's no looking around, trying to find things, having to make 20 decisions on every single thing you put in your cart. Takes it away from you, okay? No grocery list, no wandering the aisles. It just goes and does it. Ronnie. She works in behind the scenes at the station. And it's funny because when I was there the second month and the third month, she's been putting this stuff into practice. And she had used AI the month before to plan her entire summer vacation, which is what we talked about. And then this month, she was showing the host before and after photos of her living room that she redesigned using the AI mock-ups. And the host said it live on camera. She goes, AI, or I said it rather, I said, AI is never going to be as dumb as it is today. Like, that's my line, right? And this is why I'm telling you, because it's not just a fun story. It's like people are using this in their everyday life. And when I go on Fox, Arizona, I also kind of promote my other podcast. So if you haven't checked that out yet, it's called AI for the Busy Human, where we solve one problem that every single one of you faces. I'm serious. Every single one of you faces one of these problems. It's between 12 to 17 minutes. I give you all the prompts and I take this problem and I show you how you can use it with AI. All you need to do is go to bellavasta.com/busy human. That's it. Okay. And so the reason why I'm telling you about this, okay? The producers are using my tips on their own lives. It's not just good TV. It's literally what gets me cited, because there's other parties now that are talking about me. I'm going to bring this down right to you guys, okay? ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, they pay attention to who the credible sources are, not who just has the most followers, not who runs the most ads, not who keeps showing up, right? It's the third party, it's other people, not just you saying, I'm the best, right? We love them like they're our own. It's other people validating that about you, okay? And that's AIO, AI optimization. And it works the very same way for you, all right? And if you want to be the pet sitter that ChatGPT recommends, when someone in your city searches best pet sitter near me, because guess what? They're not doing Scottsdale pet sitter anymore. You need third parties talking about you. Local news, Google reviews, guest podcasts, other businesses linking to you, okay? I actually have a whole SOP inside the Jump Mastermind to how to pitch yourself to the local TV stations. In fact, I was so annoyed getting to see so many just like local newscasters talking about pet safety in the heat this summer and not actual pet people, that I was just like, I'm literally going to give you the entire playbook, step by step, what to say, what the follow-up should be, what to say on camera, all of it, from soup to nuts, as they say. Okay. And so the whole SOP is in there, and you do it once and then AI is still citing it 18 months from now if you get this local news, right? And so now what I showed on Fox, that Instacart move, that was actually an AI agent. I didn't call it that on air because the word would make people lock up. The host actually said it. Words like agents make people scared. And I said, they're not tricky at all. There's no setup. It's literally one button. Okay, so let me explain this as simply as I possibly can, because this is the meat of today for you. And I want to take that pizza dough and roll it out and make this pizza, okay? Picture your assistant. She sits at a desk. You walk over to her, you hand her a note, she writes something back to you. That's how most people use ChatGPT right now. You type, it responds, you type again, it responds. It's useful, and I guess it's good, but that is the spoon. And if you've not listened to episode 464, the knife versus fork versus spoon episode, go back after this one, episode 464. I really give you a good analogy of how to be using AI if it just overwhelms you. And it's where I break down how most businesses are using AI at the most basic level possible and wondering, why does the result feel so generic? AKA the person I just told you about that was in my DMs, she thought it was going to be inauthentic because she didn't understand how to use it. Okay. So the assistant at the desk, you hand her a note, she writes back. Now imagine you hand her the note and you say, don't just write me back, go do it. So she gets up from her desk, she goes to your Instacart account, she adds the ingredients, and she comes back and she says, done. That's an agent, okay? An agent doesn't just talk to you. It goes and does things. It takes action in the real world. It logs into things. It navigates websites. It moves files around on your computer. It sends things or puts it in your draft mode of your Gmail. It goes and it gets stuff. Okay. And what's changed in 2026 is that this is no longer science fiction. I used to be you And I used to sit there and listen to other people. And the thoughts in my head, which are probably in your head right now, are, yeah, but I'm not you. Yeah, but I don't have all this time to like figure this out. Yeah, but I'm not techie. Yeah, but I have ADHD and you just don't get it, Bella. I do too. Okay. Um, in ChatGPT, you just click the little plus sign in the chat box. And then guess what? You select agent mode. And your assistant is no longer just writing you back. She's moving. Instacart is just one example of it. Okay. I'm kind of trying to like cast this picture. All right. That's my example I'm using today. But there's so much more that we could do. Okay. And so that's the whole concept. You have been cooking with a spoon when sometimes you've needed a knife or a fork. Okay. I just handed you the fork. So before we go any further, if you're listening to this and something is clicking, but you don't know what the next step is for your business or how to apply it into your business, the best thing I can do is offer you a complimentary 20-minute call. I love these calls. These are like brain food for me. Like when they come on my calendar, it's like a boost of motivation. And it's kind of like Russian roulette because I have no idea what you're going to ask me. But they're complimentary. If we've never met before, just go to jumpconsulting.net/2020 and you can get right on my calendar. Okay, here's where it becomes really interesting. I posted something on Facebook on June 18th, and I wanted to share part of it with you because I need you to understand what I mean when I say this is real. I said, I thought this was science fiction, but it's my reality. I've been building what I call an AI fleet. My head AI, my lead AI, I call her Nova. She's my operations person. She's like the head of like the triangle, if you think of this in your head. She stays on the top deck looking for icebergs if we're on a boat, okay? She does not mop the deck. If you guys have been with me for a while, you understand I always tell you as the CEO, you can't be mopping the deck, doing the work, and also looking out for the business. You have to be the captain steering the ship, okay? And so what I did for Nova is we built her sub-agents. I know, this sounds crazy. Just stay with me for the conceptual. I promise the integration is not that difficult. All right. So we built her specialists, people she can go deploy, or agents she can go deploy to do specific jobs without ever coming back to ask me permission. Okay. 4 years ago, what my agents did this week would have required 3 humans. Okay. For at least, and I'm being very conservative, in a whole week of calendar time. Okay. What I also needed to understand personally was that, well, Nova knows all this. Why can't I have Nova, my actual agent, go out there and do all of it? Well, because it takes Nova's bandwidth away. She can't be in the weeds doing all the tasks, the skills that we've already built out, if she is she can't manage and make sure everything's being done. There's no checks and balances. Now I've got sub agents, which is like I pulled someone off the street to come fix the plumbing in our business. They don't know about the whole business. They're just a specialist in plumbing. Okay. That's what these sub agents are. They're not hard. They're not hard to set up at all. I promise. Okay. So I was spending time with my dad this week. I'm doing a remodel on something in my house, and I had the agents going while my dad and I were talking to the contractors. And like literally, I wasn't managing anybody. I wasn't chasing deadlines. I wasn't doing the work that my agents were trained to do. I wasn't feeling emotionally distressed because I got back another version of something that I didn't like. Okay. But it was all still my brain. It's all still my ideas and my vision and my wording. Okay. It's just without me having to be everywhere at once. Now, that is what's possible. And I want to be really honest with you. I'm not a coder. I've never written a line of code in my life. I'm not a developer and I'm not technical. I can't even do Facebook ads. Okay. But I played and I stayed curious and I talked to AI like it was a human. And that's what a lot of my members are doing right now too. We have a lot of opportunities to play with things, and through playing and being uncomfortable in a community where other people are experiencing the same feelings only helps build your confidence. And in order to grow in anything, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. All right. The things that are possible now, most business owners don't even ask for them, and that's the gap. I can't tell you what is possible all day. I can tell you what is possible all day. The business owner who conveniently doesn't say they want to clone themselves anymore because, hello, we can. But they do what you're able to do now. Like let's say you're a business that feels like you're living paycheck to paycheck, or there's just never enough money in your business bank account. Well, yeah, because you're going and you're hiring people to do things that you actually have access to at your fingertips. And the only thing preventing you from accessing that is your own thinking. Is your thinking going to enhance you or paralyze you? It's your choice, The how to do this, the step by step, I like to show in my community. I make SOPs for it. I give them the transcripts for it. We already have 40 mini trainings on AI in there that you can just get in bite size. It's not like this overwhelming, oh my gosh. They're all solving real people's problems. Like I have them on one-on-one and we do it. Okay. And it lives inside the Jump Mastermind. It's not a plug for it, but it's completely impossible for me to even attempt to teach you this on a podcast. Not to mention this is a free podcast, right? But the information alone doesn't change anything. You could technically go to ChatGPT right now and ask, how do I do this? But you're not going to have the support of a community or someone like me helping guide you through it when you've hit a wall, right? And you could listen to every episode I've ever made because I have so many that are on AI. I'm going to give you a list in a minute and they'll be in the show notes. But until you're in a room of other people that are doing the same thing you're doing with the same goals, that's where it gets interesting. That's where things start moving. And here's what most people won't say out loud, but you know me, Bella's going to say the quiet part out loud, okay? Most business owners, they won't do this. And so you have a choice now. Like you can literally come and you can figure out how to use AI and how to integrate it in your business with me in your back pocket. Or you could stay not knowing. Both are choices that you have. But I'll tell you, your competition, they're going to start doing it. They will. Eventually they will if they're not already. And their production is going to be larger. Their reach is going to be larger. Their citations is going to be larger. They're going to be able to do things at a fraction of the cost, which means their profit margin will be going up. Okay. And so I'm not saying this to scare you, but I'm saying this to really proverbially like shake you awake and be like, this is the time we're living in and it's accessible to everyone. In fact, I write so many times like, what a time to be in business. What a time to be alive. Because the things that, we wrote off in our head because it cost too much or we didn't know who to reach out to, you don't need to do that anymore. Okay. You will never feel ready for the thing that's about to change your business. And I just posted today on my Facebook page. If we're not friends yet, go ahead and follow me there. I post a lot of information on there. Today, it's like that Gemini is going to be integrated with Apple phones. Finally, this was supposed to happen like 2 years ago. But it's just going to be really interesting because even the people that are like, I don't like AI and I'm not using AI. Well, guess what, Karen? If you have an Apple phone, got news for you. Not only have you already been using it and not realized it, but now it's really going to be in there. Okay, before I let you go, I want you to know that there's episodes you can go back to. And if you really want to just soak up this AI, let's say the weekend's coming up or a road trip, or, you just looking for, to binge on something, come binge on Bella. Episode 468 is how to build your AI brain. Okay, listen to this one first. Your AI has to know who you are before it can do anything useful. Episode 464 is the knife and fork versus spoon. It's a metaphor that explains everything about how most businesses are using AI right now. You'll definitely see yourself in there. Episode 462, 7 things that AI can do this week. Practical, fast, no overwhelm, because the next thing people always say is like, well, great, what do I use it for, right? Episode 443, clone yourself with AI. This is what leads to agents. You have to do the foundational work, okay? Your clone, thinking like you, right? And then episode 434 AI echo chamber syndrome, because if your agent is trained on bad input, it just produces more slop faster. And so this is where we understand how AI works and what its job is. It's to keep you there. And for you to be the real head main AI brain and not just go along with whatever AI says. For example, do you know that most of the time, if AI gives you something, it's only like a 7 out of 10. Don't believe me? Go back to an old thread and ask, can you do better than this? Or what would you rate this out of 10 out of 10, like a 1 to 10? And they'd be like, oh, sorry, it's like a 7 or a 7.5. I could do this to make it better. Okay, that episode teaches you all of those prompts. And then episode 433 is 13 AI mindset shifts, the ones that will change how you talk to AI, okay? And so here's what I want you to do after this episode. If something clicked for you today, definitely go grab a 20-minute call with me, because I could talk about this forever. And I would love to see where you're at, how you're using it, and how I can inspire you in the right direction. That's going to give you an ROI, okay? And if you're already in a room with people that are actually building this stuff, that's amazing. I commend you, because I think it really depends who you hang out with. If you're just hanging out with a bunch of random people who you don't really know and don't really know what they stand for, what their life looks like, how are you going to blindly follow someone else's opinion, right? Like, it's kind of like that saying, the blind leading the blind. If you want a group of doers, this is your invite. Come in the Jump Mastermind. We would love to have you. The door's open. jumpconsulting.net/mastermind. And if this episode hits for you, please share it with someone. Please post it somewhere. But I'm telling you guys, you would be so surprised after you make your first agent how easy it actually is. And most people's heads are still stuck in the sand. I know this episode is going to be a little bit stretchy. It's why I kind of am staying very surface and very high level, because I don't want to alienate anyone out there. But I do want you to know that if you're a small business owner, if you're in the pet industry, there are people doing this right now. This is not science fiction. This isn't a theory. This isn't something coming. It's actually here right now. And the people that start understanding it earlier is going to be better. It's not a question of I like AI or I don't like AI. It's, will I allow AI as a tool in my company? Will you walk to every house, or are you going to get in your car and drive to every house? Are you going to send a letter in the mail and wait for snail mail, or are you going to send an email? This is no different. This is where we're at today. So that's episode 471 of Bella in Your Business. Everything we talked about today, it's all in the show notes on jumpconsulting.net, as is the video of this. If you prefer to watch, you can go to my YouTube channel or at jumpconsulting.net. If you press podcast, every video is also inside the notes along with the transcript. So if you are using AI, like some of my advanced clients are, you can grab the transcript and then ask questions of the transcript in AI. Whoa. Yep. So wherever you're listening, please make sure you subscribe and like, and I'd love to hear from you. Remember, when life gets you down, always keep jumping. Bye now.